Hello everyone, and welcome to Learning Fives, Heroes of the Storm Edition. My name is Bravesville. I will be your caster tonight, solo caster tonight. We're going to start things off here with our show match between Mechanically Invincible and Cleveland Bronzes. We find ourselves on the battlefield of eternity, and I can't tell you how excited I am to get started here. So this was the map pick for the left side, which means right side will have first ban, first pick. Now, because these show matches are based off of player MMR and rank, I believe we're kind of like in the silver range, so we're going to try not to focus too much on mechanical skill, perhaps, but if I have any, judgment calls, I might call them out for that one. But we're starting things off here on Battlefield of Eternity, so for those of you unfamiliar with Heroes of the Storm, it is the Blizzard Entertainment's MOBA, and multiple maps with multiple strategies. So this is a two-lane map. There are two large immortals in the middle of the map that count as their objective. And first ban for the Cleveland Bronzes is Greymane. Now, Greymane is really good on this map. He has very strong auto attack damage, probably second only to Vala on this map, although she just got nerfed, so he might be the top dog now. And that is a nice pun because he's actually a Worgen. And on the left side, looking to ban Alexstrasza, newest hero in Heroes of the Storm, just came out literally yesterday. She is rather on the strong side. She's a support that does some really good damage, and yeah, she's annoying. But yes, I can see chat started already. This is Heroes of the Storm. This is our first ever time trying out this Heroes of the Storm stream. So if you guys like this content, please let us know. If you like me, please let me know, because, you might not like me. So Alexstrasza is the ban, which means we got first pick over here for the Cleveland Bronzes. On this map in particular, you want to focus on auto attack damage. Burning down those immortals in the center of the map are going to be really important. Early game, the objective isn't that strong. Late game, it scales pretty hard. With that said, some other strategies you can go along with here is drafting a hero such as Sylvanas, who will enable that push and continue to give value to your team. Now, I don't know if that's a strategy either team is willing to go. A lot of times you end up team fighting in the middle of the map over that objective as well, so keep that in mind as well. And I'd mentioned Vala earlier, and there she is. So they banned out the Greymane, picked up the Vala for themselves, likely going to be Q build Vala, Puncturing Arrow. It's really good value here on this map. Quick picked here on the left side, Artanis and Rhaegar. Rhaegar, probably one of the strongest supports in the game right now. He's just overall a good hero. He has very strong support, very strong damage, and he's, like I said, he's just overall good. Artanis, on the other hand, is a really interesting pick. If you see him picked up, you normally don't see him quite this early. He is a bruiser. He's got a really good engage where he can swap positions with the enemies. He does have good auto attack, so what likely they're going to be doing is at level 1 picking up his talent where he does bonus damage to non-heroics and try to win the immortal that way. Also, because this is a two-lane map, normally you have a 1-4 split, and on this map you'd probably see Artanis as that 1 at the top. On now to the Cleveland Bronzes. They haven't picked up their support yet. They might do so here. That is not a pick I was expecting. Asmodan and Diablo getting picked up. Full Diablo team so far, by the way. I like that game synergy going on. But Diablo's a good overall hero. He's very good on this map in those small choke points because he can stun someone up against a wall, and his crowd control is, it's just good. Asmodan, though, is really interesting. I'm not sure what they're looking to do with the Asmodan on this map. There's only 2 lanes, and he can get good value split pushing while the Immortals are going, which I'm assuming that's why they picked him up here. I'm more interested to see what they're going to do with his level 1 talents. If he's going to go for the laser build, his E, that might be what they're looking to go for here, as Lucio is banned on the opposite side. Now, Lucio is probably a good ban. They don't have their support yet. Overall, he's just a very strong hero, and because he can provide your team that sustain, it gets a lot of value in this map because a lot of the times the objective is up and you're just standing in the middle of the lanes, not actually soaking any experience. Instead, you're healing up your team, trying to deal damage to the Immortal. So I like the Lucio ban. Bans now over to the Cleveland Bronzes. They might want to ban out a tank. They already have one of their own. I'm assuming that's not going to be Solo Warrior Artanis. Garrosh is still available, Muradin, etc. I mean, there's a lot of tanks available. Otherwise, they can try to get rid of another damage dealer that would be good against the Immortals. I mean, there's a lot of options available for them here. They still don't have a solo laner up against Artanis unless they assume that Asmodean is going to be their solo laner, so it'll be interesting to see how they decide to lane. Muradin, as I'd mentioned before, he is the ban, and it's probably for the best. Like I'd said before, he's just a really strong overall hero, really strong tank. And Li Ming and Chen getting picked out. Alright, there is just... I don't know what's going on with these warrior pickups. Li Ming, very strong in this map. You can go Q build, you can poke down the Immortal, does a lot of damage. Chen, on the other hand, we were not expecting to see him. I mean, essentially, they've given themselves two solo laners in both Artanis and Chen. Chen is very strong under the right scenario, so I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but it's an interesting pick. As of right now, there's only one way that they can stun him out of his brew right now, and that's with Diablo. But Cleveland Bronzes have a few picks to go, so picking Chen this early is rather risky, if you ask me. On now to those last two picks for Cleveland Bronzes. They need a healer. They might look for another frontliner of some sort. Like I said, they probably will need a solo laner up in that top lane. And let's see who it's going to be. It's going to be Sonya as their top lane and Oriel getting picked up. Oriel is an interesting choice here. She's going to be very good with her Hope Crown onto Vala, providing her with a lot of energy. However, it's actually really difficult to do so on this map. Vala provides more energy for Oriel when she actually goes W build and able to do the AoE on the waves. And Oriel is susceptible to poke damage. I mean, she can't basically out of combat. She does no healing whatsoever. So very little sustain on the side of Cleveland Bronzes, and it happened. It happened. I saw it happen in the Discord. Someone said they'd watch if Nova was picked up, and what do you know? Last pick Nova here from Mechanically Invincible. I mean, I guess we'll see just how invincible they are. I was not expecting Nova there, but I think they can actually make it work. Like I mentioned, the fragility of Oriel is susceptible to poke, and when Nova comes in here and just snipes you and walks away, it gets pretty annoying. Interesting draft, we'll call it. Interesting draft. Now the portraits must have changed between when I entered the lobby and when I didn't, because they said that they had matched their portrait. So we'll see after this game if that actually was the case or not. Because I like to rag on people. If you're on a team, you gotta have the portrait synergy. You know, you all have to have the same portrait. It's vitally important. But yeah, it's really interesting drafts. Very not meta, not at all what I was expecting. But we'll see how it plays out. Alright, here we go. Alright everyone, welcome once again to Learning Fives. This is the Heroes of the Storm edition show matchup between Mechanically Invincible and Cleveland Bronzes. On the left side, it is Mechanically Invincible with the Truth on Chen. Selma, we'll call them, on the Rhaegar. Feisty Spice is playing Li Ming. Nez is on the Nova, and Tito Leroy is on Artanis. On the right side, it's the Cleveland Bronzes with Splash Gizmo on that Asmodean. Scipio is playing Oriel. Daleen Pig is playing the Diablo. Dorsch is on Vala, and Toxin is on the Sonya. So I had mentioned how those laning might end up going. It is interesting. They are putting the Azmodan in the top lane. I would have expected it to be the Sonya. And as of right now, mechanically, Invincible has all 5 members bottom lane. As that is just a Nova clone, nothing special there, but they're that poke damage from Li Ming, and that's what I'm talking about. Oriel's rather susceptible to that, and it's a really risky pickup there to pick you as their support, because they just have so much ways to poke that out. It looks like Chen is going top lane. As you can see, Nova getting some early snipes in, Vala already at half health. Take a look at some of those level 1 talents as well. I've mentioned before, amateur opponent is the pickup of choice for Artanis. Selma getting flipped over, taking some damage. Swap does not land from Artanis here, and it's going to be... Oriel's going to be the name of the game here. That sustained healing, as you can see, she doesn't have any hope available, and her team is low, so she doesn't really have any way to heal them right now, so they're going to push in bot lane pretty hard here. Meanwhile, at the top lane, it is Chen up against that Azmodan, and Azmodan did indeed go for the E-talent. Diablo falls first blood. Nice swap there from Artanis. Dorsch almost dies. A nice heal there from Scipio on the Oriel to save him, but that is still 1 kill going over to MEC. Immortals spawning now in the center of the map. You can see Chen at the top here. Azmodan, I believe, Hearth at the beginning of this, so he will be joining the team just a little later. And the Immortals will spawn on the bottom side. It looks both teams are going to just start burning them immediately. Mechanically, Invincible already has an early lead on that. And they are first to take them down to the halfway point. Level 3, short XP lead here on the side of Mechanically Invincible. Again, they're looking to burn, and I believe Mechanically Invincible has this faster burn as they showed the last time, and sure enough, they're going to burn this down really quickly. That means we're going to have about we'll call it a third of a shield left on that Immortal, which will be pushing, I believe, in the top lane. Yes, indeed. Normally, when this Immortal phase happens, the solo lane will push the opposite lane that the Immortal is in, but it looks like instead they're sending 3 bottom. Chen getting stunned up against the wall. He's going to get flipped. The Truth taking a lot of damage. He does manage to back away from that, which means he does survive. So this Immortal, the shield should go down on it rather well. Looks like MEC is on their way back up. It looks like Splash Gizmo is going to get swapped out there from Artanis, but not enough damage, and I feel like MEC is actually wasting their opportunity. They should have either come up immediately and push with this Immortal, or just continue to push bottom, as Chen is uncontested. That XP continue to stack up. Now they did manage to get the wall and one of the towers here. It looks like they might try to get the second one as well. Swap does not hit. Like he didn't have his Q up at that time as well. Level 4 talents are here now for both teams. Nova is going for Bribe. Not the ideal map pickup on this map, but I guess we'll see if it will make it work. Vala did go for Q, but she didn't go for the Q at level 1. Instead, she went for Hot Pursuit, which is a really interesting build in and of itself. Cleveland Bronzes are going to pick up this top camp. These Impalers are going to push in here. Azmodan is uncontested at the bottom lane for the moment. Looks like Chen had to Hearth. Swap there onto Toxin. Toxin taking a lot of damage. Diablo coming in, try to do some peeling for his teammate. Nice heals there from Oriel, trying to continue to push in here on this top lane. Again, Chen is at the bottom. Healing Totem is down as well. I don't know if he had the swap available. That would have been a nice swap. Nez taking a lot of damage there on that Nova. Does manage to tap the well in time. However, these towers are going to start losing their shots. Toxin taking a lot of damage. Toxin spins to win away. 100 HP left on him, and he managed to get away from that. Nice job there. Staying alive as the next Immortals are spawning on the map here as we take a look at bottom lane as well. It's pretty even. The wall is missing on the bottom lane, so there is a little less opportunities for escapes for our Azmodan player. But there are those Immortals spawning, and the Cleveland Bronzes are correctly choosing to take this camp. It's a little late on that, but it looks like they have not been punished for that. But they are getting a late push onto this Immortal, which means once again Mechanically Invincible is going to be getting halfway first. Now at this point, Cleveland Bronzes should be on the defense. They actually want to be stalling out their opponents. They don't have level 7 yet, which is another talent level, and looks like they are doing that. Just that. Cleveland Bronzes are going to pick up their first kill onto the Chen. Artanis just doing some damage, it looks like. Nez on that Nova is very low as well. Rhaegar's, I believe, going to get away from the nice charge from Diablo. He doesn't have the flip available, it looks like, so Rhaegar is actually going to get away from that. And Cleveland Bronzes doing exactly what they need to do. Vala taking a lot of damage. Feisty Spice getting the kill there. Damage onto Diablo as well. Diablo gets very low. The swap actually does kill him, so Diablo falls as well. So nice counter kill from MEC. Very low health bars, but they're looking to engage, and I don't know if that's going to do. Splash Kiss, though. I don't think that's where you want to be going. He's going to instead turn around and laser down the Nova, but in turn himself dies. But it looks like the mechanically invincible folks are indeed going to get this Immortal. That camp that they grabbed at the top is getting cleaned up here by Chen. He actually doesn't have great camp clear, so it's going to take a while for him to clear this up. About a 1-level lead now for mechanically invincible. They did pick up that Immortal, as I mentioned. We'll see how much value you get there here as well. Again, Chen is at the top trying to get some more XP for his team. Ideally, they get the fort here. I don't think they can get level 10 damage onto Sonya. No swap there from Artanis. That would have been a good opportunity to do so. Toxic taking a lot of damage. There's the swap. Sonya falls. Sailing Pig as well. Rhaegar has no mana, however. I mean, the sustain here at the bottom lane is rather low. They don't have the heals for it quite yet, which means once they get this fort, they might be backing up. Again, Nova putting a lot of damage down on the opponents. Rhaegar did indeed hurt. Level 10 is here now for MEC. We got Ancestral Healing picked up so far. I assumed it was not going to be Bloodlust. Triple tap coming out from Nova. All right, it's a bribe triple tap game, team. And with that, MEC is actually going to decide to back away from this. Chen is drinking his brew. He's getting lasered down from this Asmodan. Doesn't seem to care. He's just continue to drink his beer. And Asmodan is going to fall as well. That is 6 kills to 2 so far in favor of mechanically invincible, as they are kind of flexing their muscles right now. Have almost a 2-level lead. Gonna grab this top siege camp, or impaler camp, excuse me. The bottom camp as well is gonna get picked up here for Cleveland Bronzes. The rest of those heroic talents are being locked in. Now you see the suppression pulse, wandering keg being picked up there from Chen as well. MEC actually, small mistake. They need to clear the wave first before they start tanking that fort. Looks like aggressive invade here from Cleveland Bronzes. They're actually stealing their opponent's camp at the same time that their ally Asmodan is getting killed at the top side here. So if they did steal this camp here, they might try to get some value in the bottom lane, pushing in, get a fort, try to get level 10 and get a team fight. You can see Nova's already on her way down, but honestly, MEC, they should continue pushing. I think actually coming down to fight this is a mistake. Mechanically Invincible should continue to push top lane. Trading a tier 1 building for a tier 2 building? Feisty Spice going in very aggressively. Takes half his health just from some damage. He didn't really need to do that. Immortals, again, are spawning. Level 10s are picked up. Crystal Aegis, nothing out of the ordinary. It is Leap and Demonic Invasion, actually, not Black Pool being picked up here. So Cleveland Bronzes are the first onto the Immortal, but it looks like they actually don't have the DPS for it, which means once again Mechanically Invincible are going to be the ones that are going to get this to halfway point. Vala taking some damage from that Immortal stun. I believe this is a fight that the Cleveland Bronzes want to take now. Like they want to fight on their opponent's one. They have their heroics now, they have to use it, but instead it looks like they're going to trade damage, and as we've seen before, they just don't have the damage for it. So, once again, this is going to be pushing in the top lane where that camp has been pushing this whole time. And, yeah, I don't know if there's anything that Cleveland Bronzes can do in the defense. They're going to have level 7 soon. There are some heroics coming out. Chen going with that barrel. It means Vala's going to be the first to fall. Triple tap did come out, as you saw. Toxin spinning in the middle of the team, but it's not going to be enough damage. Asmo is just lasering down the Nova. There's the leap! Nova goes down. Chen going on to the The Diablo and Oriole had to Crystal Aegis herself, which means she does get away. She does have the well available as well, who almost hits Oriole with that. And they're going to continue to dive in here again, level 13, which means this is an advantage for MEC. Asmodan still is just going to laser him down. Look at him just walk around, putting the red spaghetti onto Rhaegar, which means Rhaegar will fall. They're getting aggressive here and are actually going to, looks like they're giving up their keep to try to get some damage. The truth is going to get away. You saw the retreat pings. Yeah, they just realized, oh wait, that building that we have is falling. They do manage to save it, so nice defense there from Cleveland Bronzes. With that kill, that means they did get themselves caught up slightly in XP. They're now only about a 1.5 level lead down. They still don't have level 13. Their opponents are at the bottom of the lanes, pushing in, likely going to pick up that camp as well. Advantage still right now for Mechanically Invincible. They have almost top keep down. They have level 13, which is another talent advantage. Asmodan, again, with the red spaghetti. He's lasering that so hard. Resident Sleeper Asmodan. Yeah, he doesn't have mana, and he's stuck around a little too long. Swap misses, however. Got to work on those swaps there from Artanis. Again, Asmo, he doesn't have anywhere to go. He should be pinging help from his team right now. I don't know if his team realizes what's happening. Asmo falls once again. So, yeah, at that point, I believe this camp should have been given up, or at least just let Sonya take it. Sonya should be able to take that camp by herself and help the Asmodan there. You can see the retreat pings being called. Chen should know that he's in trouble. He saw the opponents missing. They weren't at the top side, so Chen is going to fall. Triple tap on the backside. Sonya leaping in on Chen. Chen is going to use his barrel to escape. That means he is unstoppable. Nice escape there from Chen. He's just going to slowly hit his R button and walk away. So Chen survives. That is 2 heroics down. Ancestral went down as well onto the Chen. I don't think that was necessary. He probably could have just hearthed at that point. Immortals are spawning right now. And this is an even fight. This is a fight that the Cleveland Bronzes need to take. They just saw a bunch of heroics being used. They're on the defense. They need to get kills, though. Look for Asmodan to start the engage here. Demonic Invasion goes down. It looks like they're diving onto Rhaegar. Rhaegar is very low. Asmodan is just lasering. Not going to get a kill, though, which means he's going to fall, as does that Artanis on the backside. You can see Nova very low. That is a clone of hers. Rhaegar started the camp. I'm not sure. That must have been a misclick. Chen is going to get flipped over. Nice ult there from Vala, which means Chen is going to fall, but Vala is going to fall as well with the snipe and the damage from Oriole. Diablo falls as well, as does Rhaegar. Sonya, this is a bloodbath. 4 kills. I believe it was 5 with the Diablo. Diablo did have enough souls to resurrect, so 5 kills to 3 in favor of Mechanically Invincible. As you can see, Diablo is back. He had his 100 souls, which means his trait activated, which means he's back into this fight. Starting all over from 0. And yeah, level 16 picked up here for Mechanically Invincible. And again, they've just been showing, good decision making and good team fighting there so far from Mechanically Invincible. Pretty sloppy, but they made it work. Honestly, if you're Cleveland Bronzes, you need to leave. I don't think they can soak any lane safely. As you can see, they're just going to take a lot of poke damage. This is not a fight that Cleveland Bronzes wants to take. They are down 2 levels. Ooh, nice poison spear there from Sonya actually coming down. They're going to actually try to engage on this. Crystal Aegis comes out. You saw the triple tap go down between. Sonya is going to fall, as is the Diablo. Low health bars on the side of MEC, but the Ancestral comes out, which means Asmodan is going to fall as well. Vala taking a lot of damage. Shen is looking to dive onto the Vala. He does so. He's going to get his brew out, which means he's going to slow down this Vala. He might have his kick available. The snipe from Nova coming down. Vala is going to fall, as is the Oriole. That is a full team wipe going over to MEC. And again, that's just not a fight you wanted to take for the Cleveland Bronzes. You were down levels, you were down a talent, and you had proven that you weren't winning team fights. You needed to soak XP safely, or grab a camp, or just know to back up. So this Immortal is basically a full shield Immortal. This is going to be pushing in the bottom lane. You can see Nova at the drop. She's going to snipe down the top keep, which means that this keep is going to go down. That was a demonic invasion, which probably was not necessary. And now, Mechanically Invincible should be going bottom lane, pushing down this bottom keep. Really bad positioning from Rhaegar. He could have just died right there. And then, you know, they probably want to look for the win here. This is going to easily be a building. But we'll see if they get any more from that. Chen is going to use the barrel to isolate that Oreo. However, the follow-up damage didn't manage to follow up. She does eventually fall, but they are going to push in here. Vala out of position, very low, takes a lot of damage. They have no healer, which means Cleveland is just... yeah, they're going to die. Unfortunately for them, Toxin taking a lot of damage is going to leap as an escape. Triple tap onto Sonya, doesn't get the kill. Oh, Asmodee blocks the shot. Sonya gets away. Asmodee trying to laser down this mortal. Dorsch taking a lot of damage, does manage to lay down his ult. The Ancestral comes down onto Chen, but this core is already down to 50%. Which means the first game in our best of 3 series is going to be going over to Mechanically Invincible. You heard that right, best of 3, so please stick around. There is more to come. Alright, very nice job there from Mechanically Invincible. Final kill count 20-7 in that 16-minute game. They were pretty dominant throughout that whole game, so... nice job from them. And that means we're going to be going to game number 2. So that was first map pickup for Mechanically Invincible, and that was first pick for Cleveland Bronzes. So this time around, we're going to swap it up. Cleveland Bronzes will get map pick, first pick for Mechanically Invincible. We're just going to take a short break here while the teams prepare for their map picks, and I need to rest my voice because I haven't shoutcasted in a long time. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Welcome everyone once again. This is game number 2 now between Mechanically Invincible and the Cleveland Bronzes. Let's make sure we actually put them as one. There we go. First game going over to Mechanically Invincible. They have first ban, first pickup. We are on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Really fun map here. This is a 3-lane map. The objective on this map is the 3 archer minions will drop some gems on the ground. You need to collect those gems, turn them into the Spider Queen, and she will summon her web weavers. Now, the objective on this map overall is actually pretty weak comparatively to some of the other maps. So a lot of the times on this map, you will want to focus on wave clear. Team fighting also gets a lot of value here just because the lanes are so close together. You can rotate between the lanes very easily and get some picks. Quick bans here from both sides. So Mechanically Invincible banning out the Sonya. Cleveland Bronzes banning out that Li Ming that they saw last game. So first pickup here for Mechanically Invincible. Now, I mean, both teams really threw me out of the loop for meta and non-meta picks, so I really don't know what to expect here. Brightwing is the first pickup here. Really strong pickup, is a meta hero. She's just strong overall. She does have a global ability where she can go from one side of the map to the other and heal an ally or even help set up a gank with her polymorph. So I actually like that first pickup here. Doesn't really show a whole lot. However, Brightwing, her healing is very slow, meaning she is susceptible to burst damage, and as is the rest of her team. So MEC is likely to either pick up a second support or try to get some kind of beefy frontline that will not get her dove upon, or perhaps help her peel for her. On the right-hand side, these Cleveland Bronzes. I'd mentioned wave clear before. Sometimes you see a lot of Zool being picked up early. Zool can effectively go between the top and middle lane and just push like a madman with 4 people. And that is generally the strategy on this map, is you put 1 lane solo in the bottom and then 4 rotating between mid and top. So Rhaegar Vala being picked up earlier, I actually like that a lot. Vala, strong overall hero, Rhaegar as well. Doesn't really show a whole lot of what your team is trying to do. Vala can do wave clear, as can Rhaegar, so they have that early. Kel'Thas getting picked up here on the side of MEC, as is the Chen once again getting picked up. They must really like to play Chen. Kel'Thas, great wave clear. Nice burst as well. I don't think we're going to see Pyroblast, but it could happen. I mean, we saw triple tap Nova last game, so anything can happen, I suppose. Next bans are coming up here. Cleveland Bronzes. I mean, you probably want to ban out another warrior, either a tank or a bruiser, because they went double bruiser last game. So I don't even know what they'd ban. Otherwise, they could ban out a second support, like I'd mentioned before. If they are afraid of that happening and they already have one of their own that they're comfortable with, banning out a second support, such as we'll say Ana, would be pretty strong here, I feel. Although that would mean they're probably going double warrior, double support with Kel'Thas. That I don't know. That might be difficult. They have a lot of range there. Then they are going to ban out Sylvanas. I'd mentioned her last game, and again, because the objective is relatively weak on this map, Sylvanas provides that extra push power and makes sure that you actually get value out of your objective. So usually you see that a lot. Especially in the lower levels of League, that you see the Sylvanas being banned here. On now to MEC, they're going to ban out Stitches. I actually like that ban a lot. Stitches is strong overall. He has a really strong engage, and you already have follow-up with Vala and Rhaegar. So I believe that makes a lot of sense. Not to mention, Stitches is strong into Kel'Thas. He doesn't have any escape whatsoever, and he has... And Stitches has a high health pool and can pick up spell armor early on. So, yeah, I like the Stitches ban. On now for the next 2 pickups for the Cleveland Bronzes. Yeah, they need a tank. They probably are looking to get another warrior of some kind and then maybe leave their last pickup as a flex pick. I'm assuming it's going to be some kind of mage. tanks available. You know, we saw the Muradin being banned out last time. I don't think Muradin would be bad here, or ETC. They're going to want some kind of stun. Chen was a big problem for them, I feel, last game. There is the Muradin, like I'd mentioned, and Nazeebo getting picked up here. That was not a pick I was expecting. So Nazeebo is a pretty strong late game hero, and he can work well on this map. Basically, what you do is you try to stack his trade up. So I'd mentioned that rotation between top and middle. Expect him to be part of that rotation, trying to complete his level 0, his baseline quest, where he gets a lot of stacks on that, and once you get to level 20, you can get Viral Infection, and it's lights out. But that means they have to get level 20, and this is a very snowbally map, so Nazeebo is actually a pretty risky pickup. But I guess they're willing to take that risk, seeing as they are down one game. Onto the left side, Greymane gets picked up here. So that means they're likely either going solo Chen or solo Brightwing. I'm assuming it's solo Brightwing, so they're probably going to pick up another warrior here. Or is it a Nova? It could be a Nova or a Murky. I mean, I don't even know. Okay, it is the Arthas, so they did go with the double warrior as expected. Arthas actually is a really nice pickup here. Especially into Valo and Nazeebo. Rhaegar suppose as well. Basically, he has his armor, his physical armor against the Vala, but also his crowd control. You know, Nazeebo doesn't have an escape other than throwing down a zombie wall and praying that it hits. Last pick up there, Anubarak. Now that's interesting. So Anubarak gives them a little bit of dive, as well as I'd mentioned that spell armor before. He has that baseline and can talent into even more spell armor, which will help against the Kel'Thas. But the dive potential is pretty strong, and with Vala on the backside, as long as they can lock someone down, they should be able to get a kill. And you know, I mentioned before the burst. Brightwing struggles into burst, so I actually really like that pickup there on the side of the Cleveland Bronzes. They need to make it happen. Oh, they did it! The portraits! Alright, Cleveland Bronzes have the new player portraits. So, you know, it's synergy in the best form, because everyone is guaranteed to have that portrait. I need to take a drink. I might have forgotten to do that during the break. That might have happened. And yes, chat, I'm sorry. We're on a 2-minute delay. In this game, there is no observer delay built in, so we have it built into our streaming software. So I'm sorry I cannot talk to you lovely folks, but I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you. Alright everyone, welcome once again. This is Learning 5's Heroes of the Storm Edition, game number 2 between Mechanically Invincible and Cleveland Bronzes. On the right side, Cleveland Bronzes with Splash Gizmo on Nazeebo. Toxin is playing Muradin. Dallying Pig is on that Anubarak. Dorsch is playing the Vala once again, and Scipio on the Rhaegar. On the left side, it's Mechanically Invincible with JR Delight on that Kel'Thas. Feisty Spice, excuse me, is on the Kel'Thas. JR Delight is on the Mr. Wolfman, who I can't think of. Why can't I think of his name? Selma is playing Brightwing. Tito Leroy is on Arthas. The Truth is on Chen. Greymane, that's his name. I couldn't think of it. Vala is going Q build this time at level 1. Looks like a little bit of a party push. We're skipping, taking a lot of damage. Knock up from Kel'Thas as well. Unfortunately, does not get the kill there. So Kel'Thas did go Convection. Keep an eye on that questing talent. He's going to be trying to land as many of those Qs as well. Feisty Spice actually taking a lot of damage here from that wall. Turning it around onto Splash Gizmo as well. And looks like Shen is headed to the bottom lane as expected. Now, I mentioned the 4-1 split. You can see Shen at the bottom. And again, they should stick together as 4. Muradin is actually going bot lane. That actually probably is the correct call. Splash Gizmo taking a lot of damage. Nice root there from Arthas. Nazeebo falls. First blood going over to MEC. Great kill there, but Chen, I'd mentioned before, is taking a lot of damage. Does manage to back away from this. Nice job there getting away. But yeah, the solo lane on the side of Cleveland Bronzes, they don't really have one. But between the two warriors, Anubarak and Muradin is likely the better one because he has better sustain. His trait basically means he can walk away from any lane for a while and then just heal up passively. Early gems getting turned in, probably not a good use of your time. And rather clear this wave out instead. But instead it looks like they actually have Nubarak bottom, which, you know, that works as well. Murden gives you more sustain in the 4 lane, maybe? Is that what they're looking for? I'm guessing so. But again, grabbing these gems is the name of the game. Interestingly, Invincible went for neither the Spider build nor the Toad build at level 1. Instead, he went for Thing of the Deep, trying to get some more range. A nice damage there from Feisty Spice. Laying down the law with his damage, and that's Chain Bomb doing a lot of work as well. Already 6 stacks on the convention, name that 7. He gets dove upon, however, which means if he dies, he's going to lose all of the stacks. Kel'Thas goes down, which means that questing challenge is reset. Nice job there from Cleveland Bronzes, and I mean, he was pretty far forward. Let's be real here. He was a little far forward, but level 4 picked up for both teams. Again, Q build coming out from Vala, continuing down that path. And both teams, neither team has enough for a turn in quite yet. Normally you don't have that available this early on. And so far, you know, they're just willing to continue to soak the lanes. Now, alright, there goes the zombie wall. Damage onto Brightwing. Brightwing taking a lot of damage. She actually does fall there. Nice dive there from Cleveland Bronzes. I was just about to mention, the rotation between the lanes is actually really important as well. And it looks like MEC got caught out there in that rotation. Nice job there. But again, Kel'Thas already back up to 5 stacks in that little scuffle there, so nice job from him. Brightwing coming in, she went full Z build so far. Dead, if you will. And again, at the bottom, it's just Chen versus Anubarak. I don't think Anubarak actually can out-sustain that lane, unfortunately, even with the stuns. Damage once again on Vala. Vala gets knocked up and continues to spread the chain bomb, unfortunately. I mean, additional damage. 20 stacks on her Q. Vala really far forward. Yeah, she could have gotten killed there. Nice splash damage on the cocktail from JR Delight on Greymane. So we do have enough gems now for MEC to turn in if they choose to do so, as well as the Cleveland Bronzes. So both teams looking to goaltend now, this middle section. Murden jumping in very aggressively. Toxin is on Feisty Spiced. I don't think he's going to get a kill here. No, he doesn't. In fact, he gets Polymorph, takes some damage there. Greymane diving in very aggressively. He does manage to back away from that, however. Chen coming in for a little bit of poke, trying to get Dallian Pig from turning in, and a lot of back and forth from both of the teams. You saw Chen come up on that rotation. Looks like he's hitting back bottom lane. Level 7 is going to be picked up soon as well. And yeah, this it's pretty back and forth so far, as I mentioned. Level 7 will be here shortly for both teams, which will be another talent tier. I'm assuming Brightwing is going to be picking up the cleanse. No, she did not. Instead, she goes for Phase Shield at level 7. In fact, she's going to point blank Phase Shield in here. Nice damage from Kel'Thas once again. Dorsh on Vala taking a lot of damage from that. 9 stacks. Nubarak diving in very aggressively. The truth is diving onto Scipio as well. Polymorph goes down onto Toxin. And nice splash damage there from the cocktail once again. However, MEC doesn't have any mana, so they're going to have to back away from this one, it looks like. They only need 4 to turn in, and Tidal Leroy, I don't think he's going to be able to get it. No, he doesn't. He's going to get poked out of that one. Nazebo, meanwhile, at the top is actually pushing in. Cleveland Bronzes have a turn-in of their own. However, Greymane just walking into the enemy team. Unfortunately, I don't know if a stun is there. Toxin is going to jump in with the slow. Jared Delight does get away from that. Dorsh once again taking damage from that Kel'Thas, and Nazebo continuing to push at the top. And again, there's just so much back and forth between these two teams. So level 7 again is here, so no advantage for either team. They both have a turn-in available. Toxin landing his Stormbolt. He's already got that one up to 14 stacks, so that is going to start hurting as well. Kel'Thas, Flame Strike comes on 50 health left on that Vala. Dorsh just going to tap. I don't know. Nope, there's going to be a full hearth, giving just an advantage for MEC. Anubarak diving in. The double stuns doing a lot of work. Toxin is going to spread that living bomb to Splash Gizmo. Stun up onto Splash Gizmo. Toxin taking damage as well. Murden is going to fall. That living bomb doing so much work there. Brightwing teleporting in here to get some phase shielding going on, as well as additional healing, which means that the MEC blue team does manage to get their first web weavers turned in here. Now on this map in particular, top lane is your priority. This is the lane that the boss spawns in here, and watch out here, Dorsch way out of position. Both him and Splash Gizmo just pushing way too far forward in that lane here, which means Vala is going to fall. And I'd mentioned the top lane, they are smartly choosing to prioritize this lane. Again, this is the lane that the boss is in, so that opens a win condition if they can continue to push this down. Kel'Thas is fully stacked on his Convection, so watch for that burst damage from him as well. Level 10 right around the corner here for MEC, and again, look at that Kel'Thas Flame Strike damage. They just seem to be walking in it, unfortunately. Cleveland, they need to work on their position. Sindragosa coming down. They're going to try to dive onto Splash Gizmo, taking a lot of damage. Flame Strike does secure the kill. Nazebo falls as well. They're going to push Dalian Pig in the corner with that Chen barrel, but it doesn't look like they have a follow-up kill quite yet. And, oh, those Flame Strike. Kel'Thas is just, yeah, lights out, doing so much damage already early in this game. In fact, I can pull up that damage. You can see he already has 29,000 damage. Really good job there so far from our Kel'Thas player. Double root going down. Vala's going to fall. Vala, yeah, a lot of burst there. Nice root there from Tito Leroy. The crowd control on the side of MEC has been on point so far this game. Chen actually might be overstepping his bounds, though. He's drinking his beer. He doesn't have his keg available anymore. He does flying kick away. Nice double knock up there from Feisty Spice on the Kel'Thas, which means they are going to save the truth. Great teamwork on the side of Mechanically Invincible, and they have enough for another Web Weaver turn-in. So this is going to be 2 in a row from them. You can see level 10 is picked up for Cleveland Bronzes, but this Web Weaver will go down. Whoa, Ravenous Spear getting picked up here on the side of Nazebo. That is interesting. That's not something I was expecting. I'm not sure how I feel about that pickup. There's a lot of interrupts on the side of MEC. I mean, maybe it's just more damage, but putting out a big old zombie, Gary the Gargantuan, and just forgetting about him also is a lot of damage. But it looks like MEC is looking for a gank potential. They don't see their opponents. They saw them top lane. Looks like they're going to try to push in the bottom here instead, and kind of splitting their attention. It looks like Nazebo, again, is pushing out that top lane, as that is a priority. Web Weaver in the middle has not been focused yet. Done early onto the truth. This is a fight that Cleveland actually wants to take. You can see Nubrak sitting in the backside here looking for an opportunity, but Nazebo is hurting now, right? So now they want the opportunity. They're going to just dive in the middle here. Damage goes down, but the follow-up isn't here quite yet. Dorsch taking a lot of damage on Vala once again. The keg comes out. Dorsch just stuck in the middle of the team, and Central does not hit. Between that is a dead Vala. Toxin going low as well. Murden is going to fall. That go for the throat is going to get another kill under Rhaegar. JR Delight on that Greymane with the follow-up kills. That Sindragosa securing this keep as well. Level 13 here for MEC. I don't know if they're willing to go for the game quite yet. It is rather early. They might want to go for double keep, though. Get this middle keep down as well. It looks like they are trying to stick around. I mean, it's possible. We're 10 minutes in this game, and they've proven that they can get the kills 8-2. It looks like they're sticking around. Feisty Spice is rather low on mana, and he's the majority of the damage, so if he falls, this would be really big for Cleveland. Yeah, they are smartly backing away from this. Okay, good. Feisty Spice does get away. You know, you can make those early core calls on this game. However, when the main damage dealer is a mage and he doesn't have mana, unfortunately, you can't make those calls. Over, boss is available, and MEC just says, you know what? I don't think there's anything Cleveland can do about it, and indeed, I don't think there is. There is no way to push anyone off the point. No haymaker here, and they have a 3-level lead. So MEC is going to grab this. Chen is he's just doing Chen things, drinking his beer, trying to grab some attention. Hopefully, not dying. He actually takes a lot of damage. Brightwing is going to try to come in here with a phase shield. Does manage to save him. The keg is continuing to push people away. Chen does save him. You can see the cocoon goes down. Rhaegar is going to fall on the backside. The Truth is going to continue to drink his beer. Toxin on the backside. Ravenous Spirit in the middle of the team, doing a lot of damage, actually. But Splash Gizmo is soon going to find himself out of position. Chen is going to barrel in here. That nice zombie wall, however. Splash Gizmo on the Nazebo does fall. Dallion Pig as well. Oh, he does manage to burrow away with that Anubarak burrow. But with this boss and the 3 players down, MEC is going to continue to push in here. Vala dies once again. 12 kills to 2 so far for MEC. And Brightwing is alive, which means they have the sustained healing to stick around if they choose to do so. They don't have mana. Again, I'd mentioned before, Feisty Spice, their mage. The majority of their damage doesn't have any mana. However, with the sustained damage from Greymane, they might be able to stick on this. See, Core is falling. It's already down to 70%. They're going to make the Core call right now. 16 to 2. Core is already down to half health. MEC is going to 2-0 this series and win over Cleveland Bronzes in our first ever Heroes of the Storm show match here on Learning Fives. Wow, nice job there from Mechanically Invincible with, again, that 2-0 victory over the Cleveland Bronzes. A lot of things went well for Mechanically Invincible. A lot of good teamwork and, you know, perhaps some good mechanical skills. Some good talking points for Cleveland Bronzes. They did show that they knew what they needed to be doing. You know, in that bottom lane when Nazeebo was hearthing and Anubarak was looking for the kill, that is what they needed to do. It was just that they were already behind at that point. The timing wasn't correct because Nazeebo had not been there quite yet. And, you know, unfortunately Vala, she died 4 times here. And when one of your largest damage dealers dies that many times, unfortunately, you just can't stick around. And as I mentioned in the draft, that map does tend to snowball. So thank you once again, everyone, for watching. Again, this was Learning Fives Heroes of the Storm show match between Mechanically Invincible and Cleveland Bronzes with a 2-0 victory going over to Mechanically Invincible. My name is Graysville. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'm out for now, and we'll check you all later. Bye.